Hi world, it's Friday the 12th of December 2014, it's about 10 o'clock in the morning, and this is my take on Mercury on the angles. Mercury on the midheaven, the IC, the descendant and the ascendant. Mercury is the closest planet to the Sun. It goes round the Sun faster than any other planet, so its principle is that of speed and movement. Mercury is the way you read and write and think and speak and move. It's all levels of communication, whether that is with oneself, mentally and intellectually, with other through verbalization, text, telephone, email, or with the world through socializing, partying and traveling. Mercury is all systems of communication. Because Mercury never strays that far astrologically from the Sun, it's always going to be within about 20-25 degrees of the Sun. When Mercury is on the ascendant, when Mercury is rising, obviously, as with Mars, a lot depends on the nature of the sign that both Mercury and the ascendant is in. If Mercury and the ascendant is in a female sign, Cancer, Taurus, Virgo, Scorpio, Capricorn, Pisces, then the communication is going to be as much based on the way one feels and intuits as much as the logical and rational. Whereas if Mercury is more in a fire or an air sign, then the communication will be more precise, factual and less emotive. Nevertheless, Mercury on the ascendant does convey the individual onto the outside world at the day-by-day level as someone who is normally quite precise and articulate and fairly focused around what they're doing, with a clear intention behind their movements and communications. Normally with Mercury on the ascendant, you know where you stand with these people from the moment they open their mouth. There's very little subterfuge or confusion here. With Mercury on the descendant, it's a very different story. It's not that it's negative in any way. It's not. In many ways, Mercury on the descendant is actually better than Mercury on the ascendant, because Mercury on the ascendant is concerned around one's own communication and the way one projects communication into the world, whereas Mercury on the descendant gives a natural organic talent at dealing with individuals at the one-to-one level. Often people with Mercury on the descendant end up in some type of broadcasting career, but more often than not it's to do with radio or web rather than television. It's not visual so much, it's not the appearance that counts, it's the sound of the voice. Mercury on the descendant is always good at dealing with people at the one-to-one level, whether that's through the speaker on a radio, face-to-face, or through reading comment from an email or something that someone has written. But it is one-to-one, but it is reaching out into the world. Mercury on the midheaven, often you find this in the charts of people who are really good at public speaking, who are good at projecting themselves into the outside world as being not only articulate and verbal, but also educated, erudite, and precise with their wordage. Nevertheless, Mercury on the midheaven can also be a bit of a spin merchant. It depends. Mercury on the midheaven in Gemini, oh, I've got that one. Oh well, it's a bit of a spin merchant, and it's able to sell anyone anything within reason, but it's very diverse. Whereas Mercury on the midheaven in Capricorn is going to really be basing its communication around clear, structured boundaries. Again, the sign is important with regarding to the midheaven. And then there's Mercury on the IC, Mercury at the roots, the bottom of the chart, the start of the fourth house. Here you often find the best real estate salesmen, the people who are very good at being a janitor or being an estate agent, or people who are managing property in some shape or form. Often, of course, there's a strong desire for the home to be not only a place of comfort and security, as with anything on the IC, but also to be a place where there is intellectual stimulation, debate and communication. Not for these people a quiet, safe, demure home. They need an active home with lots of words. Mercury's about communication, and on the angles it's the way you project yourself into and onto the outside world as being a communicative being. Catch you later. Bye.